David Confused, episode 17. You know the fucking vibes. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of David Confused, Inauguration Day special. We are looking live at the TV. Got it on ABC Inauguration Day. Bracing myself for the Civil War that's going to break out at any second. I got my water and my rations in the closet. Got my AK-47 right next to me. Ready for whatever, as they say. I'm looking at the TV. There's no one in the streets. A bunch of tanks and guards. A little bit different than a regular inauguration. But that's standard par for the course in 2021. And that reminds me, we have a sponsor for this episode on Inauguration Day. You're stuck at home in the pandemic, you have nothing to do. You used to do art in kindergarten and you used to love it a lot. Why not go back to that? Get all your premium art supplies in the Central Valley at Squeeze and Tips. Squeeze and Tips art supply store on North Blackstone has everything you need for all your new portraits, all of your clay figurines, all of your little crafts and knick-knack wants. They got a little bit of everything, and they got some finger paints if you really want to get crazy. Squeeze and Tips art supply store, Fresno's best. Walk in there, say Dave sent you, get 0% off. Actually, Inauguration Day, I've been tuning in here and there. It was kind of entertaining that Lady Gaga did the national anthem. Absolutely walking in looking like she's straight out of Game of Thrones. Has some kind of big ass gold pigeon right here. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Actually, I think that's more Hunger Games than Game of Thrones. Maybe it's like a hybrid of both. Very in fashion 2021. I might have to start adding that to my wardrobe. I want to touch a little bit more on the storming of the Capitol that happened a little while ago. Talked about it last episode. But I did notice that the infamous picture of that one guy that's circulating, it's like the guy holding the podium, and he like has the smile on his face, and it's like the famous picture now. On one hand, I think all those guys need to be tarred and feathered and absolutely tortured for trying to undermine democracy and what America stands for. But on the other end, I have been I've been exposed to situations like that. I did have a friend back in the day, not to be named, to protect his identity. He had a problem. He just had a knack for, whenever we go to a house party, he liked to, I don't know if steal's the right word, but borrow little trinkets that were harmless. So like, maybe like a 10-year-old Xbox game that no one plays anymore. One time I saw him sneak out a walker out of a garage that I think was for the person's grandmother. Little trinkets here and there. One time I think he stole a David Carr jersey right out of the guy's car, right from under his nose because he was hammered drunk. It's just one of those things, it's good, clean fun. But that look the guy was giving, I knew that guy just thought it was a house party. That guy thought that Nancy Pelosi's office was your 43-year-old mom's friend that's divorced and is the cool mom and lets you go into her room and try all her drugs, and you steal a little pipe or something on the way back. That's the look I got from this guy. He didn't think that the book would be thrown in his face. No, I think he will be made an example of. Do the crime, do the fucking time. If you guys remember, I was on Freshly meal plan. Freshly, the company. I did have my meals shipped to me on a weekly basis. I tried that out. And I gotta say, Freshly got the axe. I come to realize that I was paying $10 for each meal, and they pretty much just use the same ingredients over and over in different variations. So sorry, Freshly, you got the cut. You messed up too many times. Too many times I was left hungry and my kids went without lunch and dinner. So Freshly got the axe. But when I went on the app to cancel it, they make it so goddamn hard to cancel. And they try to like make you look in the mirror and like think about what you've done. Like they make you fill out an exit exam, like a questionnaire. And it says like what was wrong with Freshly, it wasn't good, it wasn't fast enough, whatever. And then it's like, well, what do you plan on doing next? And it's just, you have to write something. And then it says like, where are you going to be getting your food at from now? And there's all these questions about like, are you sure you want to do this? Because we know you're a lazy piece of shit and you probably haven't thought it through. And of course, I just wrote what any rational person would say. I just put Long John Silver's. And I submitted it. R.I.P. to Freshly. I am excited to say that I am starting a new diet, a carnivore diet. I made a bunch of like crepe pancakes for the morning time. And afternoon is just going to be strictly red meat, chicken, fish, eggs, maybe a little bit of pork sprinkled in. I'll report back to y'all, we'll see. I am a human guinea pig, and I will report the results to the Dave and Confused followers, aka the mass confusion. Because I don't have Freshly though, and if I don't meal plan, it does get tough. I tried to get Chick-fil-A on the way to work, and I was trying to be responsible. I ordered ahead. I downloaded the app. I submitted my order 30 minutes ahead. And what happens is you pull into Chick-fil-A and you go into one of the little stalls. And when you pull up the app, you write in what stall you're in, and then you press submit. And I had no idea. But once you press submit, that's when they put the order in. So I'm sitting there at the River Park Chick-fil-A in the stall at around noon, or like 11:30, fucking rush hour traffic, in and out, Chick-fil-A, Joanne, Chipotle. That shopping center is popping at that time. And it didn't bother me at first. I thought, park in, get the food and go. Chick-fil-A is the best. It's not going to be a long time. As I'm sitting there, I realized they just put the fucking order in. And I'm sitting there waiting, and as it's getting closer and closer to the point where I might be late to work, there's just cars fucking hounding behind me. There's huge traffic jams. I feel like I was in Black Hawk Down, the movie. I'm sitting there just dead chopper. People are swarming all around me. People are honking. People are waiting for me to back out because there's only 5 stalls, but there's 20 people waiting for the goddamn Chick-fil-A. The line is wrapped around the whole goddamn shopping center. It's absolute madness. And then at the last second, the Chick-fil-A employee appeared, chucked the bag in my car, and I got the hell out of there. Lesson learned. So I'll keep you all updated on my new diet. We're working through the Cori virus. The pandemic has a stranglehold on states like California and New York. Just inept governments to try to strangle fucking small businesses. I don't really get out much, but I was in Target the other day, and in a pandemic like this, you gotta wonder what the lasting implications are gonna be. And I have this feeling that like kids are gonna be so fucked up because of this. And I'm walking through and I see that Target is fucking glorifying this shit. I'm walking through Target and I see on a little boy mannequin or child mannequin that says a shirt, "And I still survive." Or like, I still survive or something. It's like, Jesus, that's fucking dark, Target. You just can't kill this kid. And he's bragging about it. You're making a quick buck. And I still survive? Like, what does that even mean? Is that some kind of like fucking My Chemical Romance song? They're making these kids a victim when they need to pull their fucking bootstraps up and fucking mine some Bitcoin like everyone else and fucking do it the hard way. Target is so fucked. We're all fucked as a society. I'm walking through, there's a fucking clothing section and there's like the lingerie section, and you can see on the top billboards like they have a bunch of like people, and you have a bunch of like women models that are a bunch of different sizes, whatever. But then I looked and I saw like a 90-year-old woman on the fucking, in the lingerie section on a big advertisement sign. And it's like, that's where I crossed the fucking line. Why, like, okay, you're trying to make it comfortable for everyone to work there. Old people do not need to be on the fucking lingerie model for Target. It's not even like a nice, wholesome old grandma woman that's like, you know, reasonably covered and just smiling like how a grandma would be. It's like this weird, sexual, seductive, like wannabe grand MILF that's like, it's like seductively looking back, and she just has this like lingerie like bra on, and then you just see the fucking sunspot, fucking weathered, nasty ass back on this 90-year-old woman. It's like, no one wants to see that. If I'm an old person, I'm not gonna look at the fucking Target wall and say, why am I not represented? That is what's wrong with this society. Some people don't give a fuck if you're over the age of 70, and they know you shouldn't give a fuck. Fucking disgusting. That's where I draw the line. The woman might be fucking wiped out by Corona anyway. She's not out there flaunting it. She's inside, bunkered down. 3 masks on. Fucking hand sanitizer everywhere. Scared. She's probably huddled in her underwear because she's so fucking scared because of the media. She's gonna die at any second. Shout out all the grand MILFs out there. If you can rock it, do it, but it's rare. And this woman did not have it. Fuck Target and fuck Burger King. I hate how these stupid fucking fast food chains are trying to like change their whole lingo just to like get teenagers to buy their fucking food. I saw a Burger King commercial and it's like, new BK dollar menu. Dollar fries, dollar shake, dollar nuggets, BK dollar menu. It just hits different. Fuck you. Whatever happened to just having a great product and just letting that be enough? Like, you don't see fucking In-N-Out talking like a 12-year-old fucking preteen boy that's about to get into middle school. It's just trying to be cool in front of his friends. You don't see In-N-Out fucking, they don't even do commercials anymore. The commercial would just be, hey, this is how good our fucking food is, and you know it is, not, I'm going to try to brainwash you and trick you into buying our shitty food that's basically garbage. Fuck you, BK. You're just the same as these fucking jewel companies that are trying to trick these kids to make it look like candy. Fuck Jules and fuck Burger King. On another note, I did see a great podcast between two of, I guess you could say, idols. Hamilton Morris, formerly of Vice. He's like a chemist. He's big into just psychedelics in general. And he did a podcast with Eric Andre, who's maybe the craziest man on earth. Very interesting. They talked about how psilocybin, the active ingredient in mushrooms, is different than something that, like MDMA, for example. MDMA like replicates serotonin in your brain. It basically like depletes it, while psilocybin basically replicates the molecule or a molecule in your brain and like hits these certain receptors and acts differently than a normal compound, but somehow like doesn't deplete your brain. So basically, mushrooms are healthy. Everyone should try some. The funny part about that conversation though is they started talking about whippets. And Steve-O's famous for doing whippets back in the day, getting hooked on them. They were talking about it, and Hamilton Morris said something like, "Oh yeah, you got to be careful. I'll put you in a wheelchair." And Eric Andre immediately just kind of stopped and was like, "Whoa, like, why? Like, how much would that take?" And he said he's obviously doing whippets, but then they kind of realized, or Hamilton explained to him, you can do whippets. You just gotta kind of counterbalance it with some B12 supplements. So make sure you're healthy if you're tripping on shit. Pokemon Snap is now out. Back in the day, I was a huge N64 Game Boy Color kid. I had the original 151 Pokemon cards. One of my greatest accomplishments in my life. Pokemon Snap was big back in the day, as well as Pokemon Stadium. If you guys remember back, I developed a Pokemon Go addiction at the beginning of the pandemic. Kind of recovered from it a little bit, but this Pokemon Snap game might make me relapse. Thank you for the diehard listeners, the 4 of you that tune in every week. I'm thinking about branching out. I need to start reaching out to people to get the name out there for the pod. So I'm thinking about doing a swap cast with a couple people that are doing some OnlyFans accounts. Just keep an eye out for that. Now on to everyone's favorite part of the show, Tales from the Road. This one is pretty spicy. Right off the bat, I don't really speed at all anymore because I don't want to pay for the ticket. So I was driving and 2 cars sped in front of me, and there was 2 motorcycle cops, somewhere in Clovis, I forgot. But they were just sitting there next to each other waiting, and I saw a fucking double snipe. These 2 cars zipped past me, and immediately both motorcycle cops, lights on, got them. Double snipe. Very rare to see in the wild. Luckily it wasn't me. Sometimes life just plays tricks on you. Security at my facility is very nice. I think there's someone that works in the restaurant industry there, and they bring in snacks once in a while. I walked into the break room and there was a bunch of like desserts, and they looked really good. I wanted to try one, and then I looked on the box and it said Asian pears. And I'm only allergic to 2 things on earth. One is soy milk. So of course I couldn't eat it or else I was going to die. I saw in downtown Fresno an addict that was passed out on a bus stop. And I saw another addict walk up to him and what's the word I'm looking for? Pillage through his pockets? Filter through his pockets? Checked if he had any cash on him. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. A little addict-on-addict crime. I'm driving around Clovis West area. It's very weird. And I saw a bunch of police cars, and there was a guy in a straight-up bath towel on the curb. Looks like police jacked him when he was in the shower. Threw the cuffs on, at least had the decency to put a towel on him. Thank God for that. But I did see something that kind of discouraged me. It was also kind of funny. There's an old guy doing yard work, and there's an Amazon worker that kind of was walking a package up to his door and literally got within like 2 feet of him, and the guy did not even look up because he was doing yard work. And it's like, that's all you people think of us. You just think we're just fucking robot drones handing out deliveries throughout the day. That's pretty much what it's going to be until they get robots.